Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
Folks, this is absolutely glorious. I'm telling you, these are like the halcyon days right here, right? It's just like a glorious time to be involved in political commentary. I can't say it enough. Have you sensed, here's where I'm going with this. Have you sensed the narrative shift just over the last few days? So week one, everybody on the left, I don't want to say everybody on the left, but a lot of people were quiet about Trump because they didn't know what was going to happen. Shock and awe hits. Week two, the freak out begins. We're now in week three. And have you sensed the shift in the narrative? The big story, obviously, right now is the Trump-Elon tag team effort that has the deep state and everybody panicking over USAID and other money. It's not just about USAID anymore. It's about the government in general. That's why I keep covering this. Have you sensed the shift in the narrative because we are the media now? We are the media now. Us. I'm going to prove it to you in a second. Do you hear how the left is talking? Please pay attention to this, man. I don't mean to sound like an ass or condescending. That's not my intention. Pay attention to how lefties are talking. There's a Doge hearing on a few minutes ago, and even the Democrats on the panel are like, well, you know, we're all interested in cutting government spending, but we are? Notice I said the Democrats on the panel. Of course, they're not really interested in that. But did you notice how, because we're the media, and for the first time in, 100 years, have turned the tide on the government as a benevolent force in our life narrative, thanks to Elon, Trump, and the media, the new media? The narrative has completely changed to the point where Democrats now have to acknowledge they may be on the wrong side of this. Why are we the media now? Thank you so much. 3.5 million. Thank you, P1 listeners. Thank you, McGroin crew. Thank you, Dan Bongino Show Army out there. You guys are the best. If you look at this, 3.5. Oh! There it is. The Gee flames. Well, he hates using the flames. He thinks if we use them too much, we're going to. This is the time. 3.5 million. I got to retire this now. I told you. Chris still has not, from Rumble, has not sent us a new statue. This says 2.5 million. So we're going to retire this for now until we get a new one. So, Chris, it's on you. Everybody text Chris Pavlovsky from Rumble and demand we get a new Rumble statue, 3.5 million. But it's not about us. We are the media now. Today's show is sponsored by Birch Gold. I buy my gold from Birch Gold. Text Dan to 989898. Get your free info kit on gold. Today's show also sponsored by our friends at ExpressVPN. Depending on where you live, internet service providers may be required to keep logs of your online activity. In the U.S., these ISPs can legally sell your browsing history to whoever they want. So what can you do about it? Well, get a VPN. The one I use is ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN reroutes my online traffic through encrypted servers so my ISP and data brokers can't get their hands on it. So why do I trust ExpressVPN? Any reliable VPN gets a certain number of data requests from law enforcement and other government entities. No requests made to ExpressVPN in the past year alone resulted in any of their customers' data being exposed. You know that? You can't hand over what you don't have. ExpressVPN simply doesn't have the customer activity logs. It's that simple. ExpressVPN works on all your devices and it's easy to use. Tap one button like that and you're connected. So if you want the VPN I use to protect my online privacy, go with ExpressVPN. In fact, you can get 4 now extra months of ExpressVPN free with my link. What's the link? expressvpn.com/Bongino. EXPRESS. expressvpn.com/Bongino. Get 4 extra months free. All right, fellas, let's get this party started. Man, I got to tell you, it has been a crazy news day, the crazy news week, a crazy news month. The narrative shift is happening. Folks, how many of you in the chat are roughly my age? You guys, in the 40 to 50-year-old bracket? I mean, anybody... Have you ever, in the last, say, 40 or 50 years, which is the only body of work I can speak for, seen Republicans win a government spending fight? I'm serious. Yes or no in the chat. I really want to. You got some 49-year-olds? Yeah. Tama Dez says, me, you're 51, so you're mine. Have you ever? I'm serious. Tell me when. Cite an example in the chat. Man, that chat's blowing up. No. Anyone have an example? No. Okay. The web mic? No. Hell no. We have never, because we were never the media. We had to deal with Cronkite, Brokaw, CNN, MSNBC, the nightly news. You now have this seismic shift in PR where Elon Musk, who is now full-blown MAGA, has purchased the most important social media platform for journalism and narrative building in the history of planet Earth, Twitter X, okay? He is using this platform as a free speech vehicle to get out ideas that would have been censored in the past, like, hey, government waste is a bad thing. The shift is real. This happened, yes. I've never seen anything like this. And not only did it happen, it was all over X. It was being run live by cable news. It was all over nightly news channels. It was all over Fox, OANN, Newsmax, and just about every MAGA person on planet Earth watched what was, I don't know, guys, what was it, 45 minutes? A 45-minute presser in the White House where Elon Musk and Donald Trump made such an unbelievable case for why we should be combating government waste that you would have to be a freaking imbecile to argue against it. This would have cost $100 million to get this message out if anyone else did it. Maybe more on all those channels. Check this out.
So people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
I need you to understand this as my brothers and sisters in this now growing Bongino army, and it's such an honor to have you here. To do what they did yesterday and get an hour, it wasn't prime time. I forget what time it aired. It was during the Will Cain show on Fox. It was in the 4 o'clock hour. By the way, excellent show. Will's doing a great job. Huge ratings, by the way. 4 o'clock hour. It went on for about 45 minutes as presser. Folks, it was everywhere. To get that kind of penetration into the cable market, broadcast market, social media market, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you're seriously looking at a bill, I don't know, $50 million or more? Trump has the bully pulpit. And for all those people out there, those dipshits who just do not understand Donald Trump, it's all about Trump. It's all about Trump. He's never going to cede the microphone to anyone. Donald Trump seemed, you guys watch it? Was just sitting there like, go ahead, Elon, make your case. Did you see him interrupting at all? I didn't. Did I miss something? And I thought Donald Trump was an egomaniac who makes it all about him. Didn't seem to be doing that yesterday. Argue Elon's point. If you were a liberal lunatic or moron watching my show in the chat, trolling, knock yourself out, but it only adds to our chat. A simple question. What did Elon say that bothers you? Look at this. Snapshots and sound bites, folks. Look. Look at this. You can't beat this imagery right here. Argue against what he's saying. The people voted in the House, in the Senate, and in the presidency for a guy who ran specifically on a big free market and a smaller government footprint. And Elon said it right. You're getting exactly what you voted for. Argue against it. Make the case. Love to see it. You can't. I'm going to leave this story here because I got a ton of stuff to get to, including a big victory for, I told you this was going to happen. We are the media now. And when I say me, I mean all of us. It's not about this show. I love this show. It's my show. I'm proud of it. You got Charlie out there. You got Bannon's show. You got Shapiro, The Daily Wire. You got Dana, Clay and Buck. These are technically in the market for me competitors. But for my ideology and my activism that comes first before the job, they're not competitors, they're allies. And I want you to always remember that. Thank you, Justin. I'm all about spreadsheets, folks. I don't get emotional. Clay and Buck have other stations. Fantastic. That's great. Because activism comes first. Activism in advance of defending the republic. Always. And the minute you lose that, get the hell out of this business. Go into sports commentary. That's fine. But don't pretend you're trying to save the country. So yesterday, I told you this, folks. Everybody, I don't say everybody again. I don't want, this is not a case of hyperbole or exaggeration for effect. That may come up later. There are a lot of people, even on our side, freaking out over this lawfare going on by the left. Totally get it. Let me stipulate a point to you in advance, which I agree with. This is not a fight. You are correct. What these judges are doing, and these left-wing activists like Norm Eisen and other, to sue over every time Trump clips a toenail, right, is obscene. These judges should throw these cases out. The cases are ridiculous. Trump is the executive, doesn't have the power to execute over the executive branch. Okay. Then we don't even have a government if that's the case. The government's not accountable to our elected president? Really? I get it. I'm simply telling you that the left is setting themselves up just like they did in the Jack Smith case, where they all laughed. Oh, look, we got Trump. Jack Smith's going to get him for treason and an insurrection. And what happened? Jack Smith got let go. The case got tossed out, and the Supreme Court ruled in Donald Trump's favor, and now the four corners of the presidency are solid on official acts. The left got a kick. This isn't even Karate Man. A kick, or maybe it's a kick in the ass like you've never seen. It took time. The left in the beginning was like, we got him. Look, Jack Smith. The left in the end was like, oh, they got us, Jack Smith. Yeah, we did. It takes time. It takes time. Let the left sue. Even the left-wing commies at Axios are starting to figure out what I told you yesterday. Did we not have this conversation yesterday? Don't get crazy about it. Get even. And here's how we do it. We fight the same wars in the courts. Axios, Trump's many-front court war. They begin by basically like taking a celebratory tone about Trump lost this, Trump lost that, okie dokie. But then they note that the Trump team, they're setting the stage for historic Supreme Court showdowns that could test Trump's push to remake the federal government. And what does it say? Michael, can you read that? What does it say? And increases power. And increases power. They could also provide roadmaps for how to stop them. And increases power? Wait, I thought this was, how would these lawsuits by the left increase Trump's power? This is Axios writing this. They're like communists. Even they are starting to get it like, hey, liberal dipwads suing this guy, this may not be a good idea. Because if the Supreme Court starts fast-tracking a lot of these cases, we got 4 years to deal with a president right now who's going to be more empowered if he wins these cases, not less. Yeah, I think so too. You are correct. I definitely put an accent on different points than Mike Allen. But those are the words, are they not? Mike Allen is a very smart guy in this case. Don't freak out. We are not going to win every court case. You have too many judicial activists on the bench. That's why it's important to win the presidency, because he's the one who nominates judges. It's also important to hold the Senate so we can confirm them. And now that Harry Reid dumped the filibuster, we have a majority. We need to get constitutionalists on the bench and not politicians like the liberals do. You see how important it is now? That's why I told everyone during the midterms, you got to vote down ballot. Oh, Dan, these Senate Republicans are assholes, a lot of them. Correct, some of them are. But I'd rather have them than a liberal who's going to vote for a politician on the bench. So one other quick news story before I get to the deal maker in chief and how you guys were weeks ahead of the news cycle. Yet again, a lot of people asked me to comment on this, libs of TikTok. Just in, Ron Rowe, who was the acting Secret Service director, has now retired, is leaving the Secret Service. There are a bunch of people like, oh, Dan. No, there already is a new director, folks. It's Sean Curran. I know Sean. I wish him the best. I have not spoken to him about this. I've spoken to some other people. I've not spoken to Sean. We will one day. I hope he's working on reforming the Secret Service. I'm optimistic, but guarded on that. But Ron Rowe was going to be a disaster. I'm glad he's gone. It's not personal. I've known Ron. He was never unkind to me. He was not a leader of the Secret Service, okay? I'm sorry. He was part of that chain of command with the 2 assassination attempts. So he's out. That's good news. We wish Sean Curran the best. Sean's a man with dignity. He's got a lot of courage, and I hope he fixes the place. Let's see. Again, I don't get emotional about it. It's all about spreadsheets. Folks, I know there's a lot going on, but if there was ever a story where you guys, the Dan Bongino Army, beat the media by a week on a story. I mean, we beat them by more typically, but the news cycle comes at us so fast. If you beat them by a day, we should be lucky. I told you with the Gaza thing that happened last week that this is a bigger story than Trump proposing a U.S. involvement in Gaza, of course, which is in the Middle East, between Egypt and Israel there. The story is bigger. It ties back to the beginning about narrative shifts, how the media has now lost control. The old school left-wing commie media has forced themselves into a reactionary box where if they don't react immediately and negatively to anything Donald Trump says, the subscribers on their outlets go away. The Washington Post, the New York Times, and these other MSNBC, CNBC, they have subscribers now, whether it's through cable or subscribing to the outlet. These people are crazy anti-Trump lunatics, a lot of them. They're expecting instant gratification. So what has it done? Follow me. This is important, okay? Really important. It has forced these people to instantly come out against anything Trump says ever before they understand Trump's deal-making skills. Now, we beat the media yet again when I told you to hold. The deal maker in chief, Donald Trump, strikes again in Gaza. I told you what he was doing there, and if the dumbass media would have just listened, they wouldn't be sitting here with egg on their face. Donald Trump comes out every single time on every issue with a 1 to 100 maximalist position that's never been said before. Let's get the U.S. into Gaza. No one's ever said that before. Everybody goes crazy. Does Donald Trump mean it? I don't know. Chances are he doesn't mean what you think he means. But what he does is he resets the earth. He is, I hate cliches, but they work sometimes. He is the bull in the china shop. Everything, he breaks up. Everything's got to be rebuilt. The china shop was full of crappy stuff anyway. That's what he does. The media then reacts instantly as if everything he says, he means word for word, even though they probably know he doesn't. Here are some of the headlines. Opinion, Daily News. Trump's Gaza nonsense. Crazy scheme harms real steps for Mideast peace. Oh, it gets better. Al Jazeera. Ethnic cleansing proposal. The New Yorker. Trump's mad proposal for Gaza. The idea that the U.S. would have a role in rebuilding Gaza. So some Palestinians could go back and actually live in a place that functions. Here is the AP. This is my favorite. Trump wants Egypt and Jordan to take in Palestinians from Gaza. Here's why the idea is rejected. The judges ruled, you guys really suck at this. Here is yesterday in the Oval Office. For those in the liberal media who need a lesson in geopolitics, this is King Abdullah from Jordan. Wait, put up that AP headline again if you would, guys. What did you say? Trump wants Egypt and Jordan to take in Palestinians from Gaza. Here's why the idea is rejected. They said, they're not going to do anything. Jordan's foreign minister, no. We're firm and unwavering on this. We're not taking in Palestinians. Okay. Play the cut from yesterday, if you would.
One of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in a very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible, and then wait for, I think, the Egyptians to present their plan on how we can work with the president to work on the Gaza challenges.
So your
I want to tell you, excuse me, wait, just please. I didn't know that what you just said, 2,000 children with cancer or other problems, and that's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good, and we appreciate it.
Did he just? Wait, put up the AP headline again. Jordan's foreign minister rejected the transfer of Palestinians as firm, and it says that right there, right? Firm and unwavering. I'm just checking. Oh, it does. Can you put up the text though? Firm and unwavering. But he just said they're going to take in some Palestinians. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it does say that. It's so weird. I thought I missed that. Michael just said it right. Colombia, we're not taking in our own people. Okay, massive tariff. Okay, we'll take in our own people. Canada, screw your damn tariffs. We're not doing anything. Okay, we're going to do a fentanyl task force at the border. Mexico, we're not doing squad. We're not doing anything. We will shut down the border, 10,000 troops. If you just would have listened to your boy, Dan. And the kicker is it all happens in like 24 hours. You said it right, Justice. It doesn't even take a week. At 24, it happens in like 12 hours sometimes. Right? 24 is like, right. 24 is like hyperbolic, like the TV show 24, which wasn't really 24 because you had to wait a week for everything to happen. Folks. Media people, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to, not because I like you, I can't stand you. It would just be nice to have a media that's not 100 on the crazy scale and maybe just a 75. You are going to burn out. Trump takes the maximalist position no one took when everyone expected maybe a 25. He goes to 100. He gets a 50, which is 25 points more than everyone else. That's how he does business. If you just would have listened, you wouldn't have gotten these stupid headlines up that we now are exposing as ridiculous. More on this later, because it shows you again why people listen to this show and people are leaving and exiting cable news and elsewhere like crazy, okay? More coming up next, including another story we warned you about. My batting average on conspiracy theories, Michael, is, if you updated it, 1,000. Yeah, wait, hold on. I know we got to get to this. But media hoaxes. We have to add this one. Sorry, guys. I know I got to do this, but 4. Yeah, you didn't know? Trump is ethnic cleansing in Gaza. There we go, folks. Media board. We're up to number 4. Trump, ethnic cleansing. We're going to need a new board soon, fellas. We're only 3 weeks in. Hey, why does it feel like losing weight's harder than ever before? It's a lot of misinformation out there. The fad diets, magic pills, quick fix injections end up doing more harm than good. But here's the thing. It's not your fault. Your body could be working against you. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to turn things around. So you shouldn't wait. You should take advantage of this exclusive Bongino listener only, a PhD weight loss. Producer Jim used it. He lost like 30 plus pounds. Call PhD weight loss at 864-644-1900 to talk to a specialist today. Dr. Ashley Lucas and her team at PhD Weight Loss are leaders in helping people like you lose weight and finally break free from that cycle of up and down dieting. Producer Jim loved the program. It's very helpful in getting back on track. You'll get a free consultation and 2 free additional weeks of the program, including meals. But you just need to act now. It's just a simple phone call. Call now, 864-644-1900, and schedule today, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com, myphdweightloss.com. Weight loss results vary per individual. Consult with a medical professional. Thanks, My PhD Weight Loss. You know, again, how many times are we going to burn the media, the MAGA army out there, the Bongino army out there? They keep falling for the same stunts, and they don't realize it damages their credibility, not ours. I want you just to remember this, because this broke the other day. I was going to cover it yesterday, but we just didn't get to it. Remember this presser by Karine Jean-Pierre where she resolutely insisted that FEMA money was not Federal Emergency Management Agency money, was not being diverted to these kind of illicit, ridiculous causes and was being used for emergencies. And we were all conspiracy theorists. Here, play it in case you forgot this.
So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds used on immigrants illegally in the U.S. The fact is, no money is being diverted from response needs. That's the fact.
Elon Musk tweet, please, otherwise known as Hairy Balls. The Doge team discovered FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. He goes on about how this violated the president's order. Folks, again, just to kind of put an accent on the point I'm making, we are the media now. Why are we the media now? I didn't intend to be the media. I'm an opinion guy. I enjoy talking about politics. However, our opinions are based in fact. The media, which is supposed to be fact, can't even get the facts right. Folks, the FOing is continuing, by the way. This is the most dramatic 3 weeks of a presidency I've ever seen in my life. I get that that's an opinion. I understand. But I'm serious. Like, have you ever seen anything like this? It reminds me of the scene in Seven I cite all the time. Remember that movie Seven with Morgan Freeman? Have you ever seen anything like this? And the answer is I haven't. They don't know what to do. He's got the Rock'em Sock'em Robots thing going so heavy and strong that they're running out of narratives. So this happened yesterday, and here's the crazy thing. This goes into Jeffrey Epstein, 9/11, JFK. This is a really big deal. I can prove to you that this 3 weeks is like nothing you've ever seen before. George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush. Any of them authorizes a committee to look into 9/11, Epstein, JFK, the MLK assassination. This is a front page story for weeks, correct? It would be front page story all over the world. This happened yesterday. This is a great congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna, about a committee being set up to investigate these things and declassify information. And folks, the news cycle is so fast and furious, like nothing we've ever seen before. This barely cracked the news. Check this out.
When our founding fathers stood against tyranny, they did not merely oppose taxes. They defended the sacred idea of individual sovereignty. They declared that no government, agency, or title could infringe upon the freedoms of speech, religion, thought, and the pursuit of truth. For too long, the American spirit has been dimmed by a veil of secrecy, by a government that has grown too comfortable in the shadows, denying us the transparency we deserve. But today, we stand at the dawn of a new era where the light of truth begins to shine through. A few weeks ago, President Donald Trump made a historic announcement. With the stroke of a pen, he committed to declassifying the files concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a decision not just monumental, but pivotal. It is with profound honor that I have been entrusted by Speaker Mike Johnson and Chairman James Comer to lead the House Oversight Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets.
And just perfect timing, Tulsi Gabbard just confirmed his DNI. Folks, have you ever seen anything like this? This is so important. Why is all this important? Why am I covering this task force on Epstein, 9/11, the assassinations, MLK, JFK? Why am I covering this? Because I put this in all caps so I didn't forget to pass on the big tattoo on your brain message. There is simply no trust in government and institutions left. Folks, I'm going to tell you something that's hard to hear because we're not believers in government at all outside of military and our constitutional functions. We're just not. Government's failed us so many times. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. You've got seniors out there living their lives by their next Social Security check. That's paid by some government bureaucrat who took your money in the past. You've got to be able to trust that these people aren't stealing and wasting your money. That's just one of thousands of examples. At the state and local level, there we go, breaking Tulsi Gabbard. Yes, the freaking news cycle is punishing. This happens during the show. I can't even get to a show without the FOing. This is the FOing saying. It literally says the FOing continues right there, right here. We need a Zoom overhead in the new studio so I can just like refer to it and you can zoom in on you think I'm messing with you. The FOing continues. Your kids go to state, public schools, many of them, funded by your taxes at the state and local level. You got to be able to trust that these people are there to educate your kids and not for some other jobs program. We can't go on like this, man. If people don't trust that the government's telling them the truth about Epstein, telling them the truth about JFK, then what the else are they lying about? This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. You see my point? Here's Glenn Beck on the PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David, saying he's got some pretty good sources that the Epstein files could be coming out in like 10 days or so. I got a big question about the Epstein files, given everything I've told you about it. And we've covered this a lot. Who the hell is on those Epstein tapes? Check this out.
In the next 10 days, you're going to see the Epstein file released.
In the next 10 days?
Next 10 days.
Oh, please.
You think in the next 10 days the whole
Drake.
thing's going to be released?
Yeah.
And what kind of information you have to be able to be that certain about it?
I plead the fifth.
In the next 10 days.
Next 10 days.
Oh,
Glenn,
please.
Yeah.
stop it.
Next 10 days.
You're
I'm telling
teasing millions who want that list.
Day number 1, Kash Patel walks in. By the end of the day, it will be released.
Oh, please. Did Kash Patel get confirmed yet?
Not yet. They
Not
delayed
yet.
it.
And did RFK get confirmed yet?
Not yet.
Tulsi? None of them.
The House, not Senate. Yeah.
So as soon as he's confirmed, his first day, it will be released.
Oh, I can't wait.
Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in those black books? Why have they been hiding it? This is not just about Epstein or JFK or MLK or 9/11. It's not just about that. Do you see the larger point I'm making? We can't exist as a constitutional republic, which is a form of representative democracy. We are not a democracy. We are not a direct democracy. We are a republic, which is a form of representative democracy, where, yes, we vote. That's the democratic part. But we don't vote on everything. We vote on people who vote on things. If we can't trust the people, then what's the point of the republic? There is no point. If you can't tell us the truth on this, none of it matters. That's why this segment I'm going to play next, our last break of the show, with Tom Homan and a leak potentially that came out of the FBI about immigration raids for gang members, rapists, and others. A leak that came out of the FBI is so critical. We don't clean this mess up, you're not going to have a country. Imagine the FBI being the source of a leak to protect criminal gang members. Stay tuned. I got a lot of show left, including, folks, we own these Media Matters losers. Absolutely own these losers like no one out there. We wreck these morons a lot, but Media Matters, we have wrecked so often. It's getting to be almost a game with these idiots. I'll show you what I mean coming up next. Hey, I was on a holiday trip not that long ago. I think you guys heard. I got really sick. Thankfully, I could, true story, obviously. I'm in Spain, so it's not that easy to find stuff. So I call my doctor at home. I give him my symptoms, do a little video thing. He's like, I'm reasonably confident you have this. I kid you not. I went to my all-family pharma packet. He's like, I can prescribe you this. How are you going to get it? I said, already have it. All-family pharma makes it easy to get life-saving medications like ivermectin, antibiotics, hydroxychloroquine, blood pressure meds, you name it. No hassle, no red tape. Once you qualify for a prescription, they deliver fast, 2 to 4 days, even overnight if it's urgent. You can stock up now and be ready for just about anything. Paula's going on a trip to Colorado. I got her stacked up too. Allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. They make it real simple. You can customize your order and get a comprehensive package tailored to your needs. You don't need to see a doctor. They evaluate your request, provide the prescriptions right for you. It's healthcare, works for you, not against you. Don't be reactive. Be proactive when it comes to your health. Here's what you should do. Write this down. Go to allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. Order online. Use code Bongino10 for 10% off your entire order. Again, that's allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. Code Bongino10, Bongino10 for 10% off. Please do this. Check them out. Thank me later. All Family Pharma products are not intended as a substitute for professional medical treatment or advice. Consult with your healthcare provider. And our last sponsor today, Armra colostrum, folks, you asked me for my life hacks last week. I gave you my protein shake, my superpower protein shake that I love. It has a lot of ingredients. What was one of the things I told you? I put 2 scoops of Armra colostrum in every protein shake. It's one of the best kept secrets of industry insiders for a really long time. Now it's gone mainstream because everybody knows it's great. Armra colostrum, ARMRA, has thousands of people reporting transformational benefits, tens of thousands of 5-star reviews, life-changing stories. Armra colostrum is a proprietary concentrated bovine colostrum. It harnesses over 400 living bioactive nutrients that can strengthen the barriers of your body and help fuel cellular health for research-backed health benefits. Armra colostrum can strengthen immunity and gut health, improves fitness and metabolism. It's my go-to. Skin, hair, radiance, worked out a special for my audience. Get 15% off your first order. Go today. Pretty excited about this product. Try armra.com/Dan or enter code Dan to get 15% off your first order. That's TRYARMRA. Try armra.com/Dan. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA and not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or condition. Statements and information are not a substitute for or alternative to seeking care from your healthcare provider. Try armra.com/Dan. Check them out. All right, back to the show. Folks, this is why people have lost faith in institutions. To the folks in the FBI out there, are you missing this? I want to have a serious conversation with the executives running the FBI right now, because I know, like anyone else, you can tend to live in an insulated bubble. You can. Every job has it. We get lost in jargon and all this stuff. Do you not understand that the public is ready to give up on you altogether? We cannot have a country like this. We need someone fighting for counterterrorism, gathering intel on foreign threats to the United States. There are, people robbing banks out there. This is serious stuff. Do you understand you've lost the public trust? Do you think stuff like this is helping? Here's Tom Homan on Fox the other day talking about a leak about an immigration raid for serious criminals that they believe came from the FBI. Check this out.
Tom Homan. Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
Well, look, we think it's coming from inside. And we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem, she's correct. Some of the information we're receiving tends to lead toward the FBI. But I talked to the Deputy Attorney General all this weekend. They've opened up a criminal investigation, and they have promised that not only this person lose their job and lose their pension, they're going to go to jail. They're going to criminally prosecute. So we're all over it.
You are going to go to jail. Do you understand that? Obstructing justice. There are probably multiple charges out there. You are going to go to jail. What are you getting out of this? Even if you're a believer in big government, the FBI is part of the government. The public does not believe in you anymore. Why would you do this? And they are going to catch you. I mean, have you ever seen the movie Miami Vice? You know how easy it is to catch leakers? You know the Miami Vice movie where they want to catch the leaker and they don't know if it's the FBI or DEA? So they feed separate information to 5 or 6 different people. And then when the leak gets out, because it's there, they know exactly where it came from. Are you stupid? You're going to go to jail, man or woman. You signed up for the FBI. Do you know how hard it was for me in my last line of work? How hard it was for me to listen to these stupid Obama speeches about big government, but I always took my job as serious as a freaking stroke, because I swore to do a job, not to be a politician. But I'm a human being. I'm sitting there doing the Secret Service stance, listening to these Obama speeches like, gosh, this guy's crazy. But you do your job and you do it well. Why can't you do the same? Guys are killing us over there, man. Hope Cash cannot get over there soon enough. Folks, shifting gears, but I told you there'd be more later on the media thing. We are the media now, and they are panicking. They have tried everything to stop us, folks. Cancel culture, deplatforming, boycotts, fake charges of racism, Nazism, fascism, anything with an istaphobe, a phobia. They've tried everything. Nothing is working. We are kicking their asses every day. So they're now at the point where they have to make things up. So I rarely cite these losers, but because they are so irrelevant now and losing steam, now what they're doing is grasping at straws. This is Media Matters for America, a total shit show of clowns and losers who've been so defenestrated right now. So I see this pop up yesterday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do they have to walk into the trap every time? Can they at least once not see the bear trap in front of them? So if you watched yesterday's show, you're like, Dan Bongino, this is their headline, argues that Trump should ignore the court order, he should, blocking federal funding freeze. Okay. Bongino also said Trump should set up a courtroom in the White House and just start making judicial decisions. Huh. I said something before that, though. Do you guys remember what it was? Do you have that by any chance? Oh, look, they do. So weird. What did I say right before Trump should set up a courthouse in the White House? Here's my suggestion before I play this video. Again, I'm speaking hyper. Here's my suggestion before I play this video. Again, I'm speaking hyperbolically, obviously, but it's meant to accentuate a point. Play that one more time. I want to be sure I said that. Here's my suggestion before I play this video. Again, I'm speaking hyperbolically, obviously, but it's meant to accentuate a point. Now, there's two possible scenarios here, folks. The absolute life loser dipshits with mommy problems at Media Matters don't understand what the word hyperbolically means. Intentional exaggeration for effect, meaning not reality, or they do know what hyperbolically means, and they're just lying to you and making you believe that Dan Bongino actually wants Donald Trump to set up a scarecrow Batman courtroom in the East Room of the White House with the wig on. Now, I'm going to venture towards the second because they're scumbags over there, and I keep getting this stuff. Why don't you sue these people? Because folks, it's just not worth your time. It's just not. I'm just making the point. Do you understand why we're the media now? Because a bunch of leftist clowns who don't read, probably can't, saw this headline. Someone read it to them. And yesterday, all over X, they're like, oh my gosh, they wanted to set up a courtroom in the White House. If they just would have went and actually done 5 seconds of research and listened to the show, they would have seen it was a joke intended for effect because I said it was a hyperbolic intended for effect. Who? The Media Matters staff. No, they don't even want to put a name on it. You understand why we're the media now? Now, keep in mind, these leftist dipshits, when their own losers like Ayanna Pressley go out and say something like this, which I'll be candid with you, I don't think she meant it. I think she slipped up. She may, I don't know. Notice how Media Matters is silent. Did Ayanna Pressley, squad member, just say yesterday she wants to work with Americans or companies that want to censor Americans? I don't know. Play the cut.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress. But they are not serious.
So I'm just curious, where's the Media Matters staff on that one? And she says, notice, she says she can speak for her colleagues. She sure would agree that she's willing to work with anyone that wants to censor Americans. I'm not with you. You see how we tell people the truth? She probably slipped and didn't mean to. She probably may or may not. But you notice we don't do like a piece on the website about this and without giving you the caveat that she may have slipped up because I don't want to lose my credibility with you. You see how the left-wing communist life loser mommy problems, dipshits at Media Matters don't care about human dignity or their own integrity? That's why they keep getting their ass kicked 3 elections in a row. Folks, I want you to pay attention to this. I'm going to give you a tactical lesson here. It's not so much a Bongino rule, but it is a lesson in politics on how we're going to incorporate some of Alinsky's own rules and the left's own tactics against them. If they're going to continue to go down this road, then we're going to do a couple things. You ready for this? There are a few steps involved here. We're going to expose, we're going to observe, we're going to mock, we're going to double down, and we're going to destroy them. Expose them, observe how they react, mock their reaction, double down on our initial point, and destroy them. You use that multi-part plan on your social media, and we will continue to dominate the media ecosystem. First, let's talk about the expose part. This is where the USAID debate comes in. Folks, almost no one in America who doesn't follow politics as intensely as we do had any idea what USAID was. They had no idea. They had no idea that there was a deep state slush fund full of billions of dollars used to fund anti-Americanism and censorship around the world. They had no idea. Now we know. This is the exposed part. People like Rand Paul and Mike Lee and Elon and others are doing yeoman's work in putting this out there. Rand Paul was on, I think it was Real America's Voice, talking about exactly how we can get rid of this massive government waste here. These are the kind of hits on media we need to make viral every day. It is not a hard process. Donald Trump agrees not to spend money allocated by Congress. It then goes back to Congress as a rescission. There's only a simple majority needed to say we're taking the money back. We need to understand the mechanics of this when we expose the process. Check this out.
Ultimately, what they're doing at USAID is going to require Congress to rescind that money. So my hope is they send half of it back or most of it back to us and say, we're not going to spend it. But then Congress, to make this all lawful and legal, is going to have to vote on what's called a rescission package. But the good news is it can be done by simple majority privilege vote, meaning there's no filibuster. So if the Trump administration says we're only going to spend half of the USAID money, or we're only going to spend a tenth of it, we're going to give 80, 90% back, a simple majority, which would mean only Republicans in the Senate and the House can rescind that money and we can start saving it. So people need to realize this isn't the end of the deal. DOGE is the beginning. Congress has to act. And you have a lot of feckless Republicans up here who, if you watch closely, love USAID, love all the welfare, love all the foreign aid. And so we have a big fight on our hands, and the people who watch your show need to realize they need to watch like a hawk their Republican representatives and make sure they will actually vote to cut this spending when it comes back.
That was Charlie's show, Charlie Kirk. Folks, we need to understand the mechanics on the exposed part because this is not complicated to do. Anyone in the chat know why I played that cut, though, about the exposed part? Who else we should be exposing? Anyone have any ideas? Let's give it a second. I enjoy interacting with you guys so much. I hope it doesn't hurt the show, but you guys are part of the show too. Anyone know? No, pay the debt down. Rand, now he's concerned. Go Rand Paul. Oh no, up to Congress. Yes! Howard and Danielle. Yeah, right before, actually, I'll give you three, Chris. It was the exact same time. Howard and Danielle says Republicans. Dorkness Rising says the Rhinos. And Tarzany said the Rhinos. Yes! I told you this show is not Democrat. It's anti-swamp deep state. I don't give a damn if you have an R in front of your name. I told you when DOGE gets to the Defense Department and gets to the Department of Agriculture, you are going to see local regional constituencies who traditionally would be Republican going, wait, I wanted government cuts, but not to my thing. Folks, it is time to be statesmen. I'm sorry, man. Everybody is going to have to take it on the chin a little bit here. I'm sorry to tell you that. And I don't want to hear jack squat from Republican congressmen going, well, I didn't mean that USAID money. That was sent to a country that's going to buy a product from a place in my district. I'm sorry, man. We're $30 trillion in debt. Buck up with a B and do the right thing. You guys are good in the chat, man. You really, feckless, who said it? Feckless report. Yes, Endo Lane. I'm telling you, you're too good. You beat me to the punch every time. It takes me seconds now. Expose them too. The second part after you expose, observe their response. Observe their response, because if you're not out there looking for how they're going to respond, you're not going to be able to mock it. By observe your response, I mean, things like this are priceless because we can use it. Here is a crazy lunatic liberal out there talking about how, language alert here, but it's not me here in this case. She wants to fuck Trump. We got Trump rock'em sock'em guy like that. What kind of like are we talking? I'm not gonna act it out. This isn't a Triple X show. No, they didn't say that. No, they did. This is why you have to observe their response and use it. Watch this.
I've been told I have 30 seconds, so I am going to tell you that we do have to. I don't swear in public very well, but we have to fuck Trump.
I'm pretty sure he's good. It's got, he's married. Melania's like a supermodel around the world. I'm pretty sure
we have to fuck Trump.
No, sorry. Okay. Observe and mock. We can't mock, Dan. No, we can, folks. I get it. Dan, you say you love Jesus. I do love Jesus. And Jesus said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And in order to defeat a potentially corrupt Caesar, we use political tactics and strategy. And mockery is a powerful weapon. Even Alinsky knew it because there's no comeback for it. So when we see responses to USAID and Elon going through the government, weeding out massive fraud, waste, abuses of your taxpayer dollars, and CNN responds with a segment like this, mocking big balls and hairy balls, we use it to decimate and destroy their credibility. Here's Dana Bash. This is a real segment. Not realizing Elon's baiting her with changing his name to Hairy Balls, where she actually covers hairy balls. Check this out.
Now, the disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Hairy Balls, tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge. And as
Elon is the GOAT of baiting these people. Well, Trump's the GOAT of getting them in a corner. You know, I said yesterday, Trump is an expert at making people choose in a Hobson's choice, which isn't a choice at all. In other words, defend the indefensible, fraudulent government waste and spending, or don't defend it and your gravy train dries up. Either way, you lose. Elon does this too. He goes on to X, his own platform, changes his name to Hairy Balls, and CNN, who you're trying, the left at least, the crazy radicals are trying to take seriously, I guess, for a minute, gets baited into covering a segment about big balls and hairy balls, which of course we mock on our show to show you how stupid these people are. But mockery has a purpose too. I understand fully, because I've told you often, that the left doesn't care about hypocrisy. They care about hierarchy. They don't care about taking two opposing positions on an issue at all. They don't. So why would we expose it? What's the point of mocking them for hypocrisy? Because we're not trying to convince the 20%, 30% of the population that are left-wing communists. You're never going to get them. We're trying to convince 10, 20% of the people who are persuadable that whatever you believe, at least on the right, you can disagree with us, but you know what we're saying is true? We support tax cuts, life, the Second Amendment. Everything the left tells you is bullshit. Here's Elizabeth Warren, hat tip Mace Moore, and hat tip before Western Lensman for that other cut. It was great. Oh, no, that's someone coming up next, right? Hat tip Mace Moore here. Here is Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, who told everybody she had Indian blood, high cheekbones, pow wow chow. Remember her? Here's Elizabeth Warren taking two completely different positions on when we should listen to the courts, depending on who's in office. Check this out.
We have a Supreme Court that has basically jumped the guardrails and is out there giving power to the president, saying that the president can commit any act that the president wants, saying that Congress cannot authorize agencies to act. So we've got a Supreme Court that is actively undermining our democracy. My view right now is the courts are where we are hanging on to our constitutional structure. They still have the power to hold everybody else in this country in contempt if they do not follow lawfully issued court orders.
It doesn't matter. She's taking the two opposite positions to the left. It matters to us. I'm just telling you, you're never debating a leftist. They're crazy, folks. They're communists. They don't care. So why debate at all? Because there's always a third party listening. That's why. You're not wasting your time. Yes, the left doesn't care about hypocrisy. They care about power and hierarchy. But people in the middle do. They're starting to see that Donald Trump, whether you agree with him or not, is a man of his word. What he said he's going to do, he's doing. That's why his approval rating is high. And they're starting to see now that everything they've been told by the left, government's fantastic. Well, what about when government's not fantastic and they're wasting money? Well, it's fantastic anyway. That's not a real position. You want to see another contrast? This is Western Lensman, another great account. Western Lensman at Bazemore. Really great X accounts to follow for good, high-quality video stuff. Great for show prep if you're in the conservative
Harry
space.
Balls.
Also follow Harry Balls. Thank you, Justin. Can we keep that as a liner? Harry Balls. And if you could follow
Harry
Big Balls, find him too. Big Balls out there. I want you to see the contrast here. I give you these golden rules of politics all the time. Contrasts matter, folks. Contrasts matter. A cold plunge is a whole lot colder if you jump out of a sauna. It doesn't matter that the temperature hasn't changed. It's still 47 degrees. It feels colder because relative differences matter. I want you to watch the contrast between possibly the best vice presidential pick we've had in a long time, J.D. Vance, and this utter buffoon we had last time, Kamala Harris. J.D. gave an amazing speech yesterday on AI. Here's just 20, 30 seconds of it. Contrast Kamala Harris's speech on AI, and you'll see how contrasts make the JD speech seem even better. Check this out.
The United States of America is the leader in AI, and our administration plans to keep it that way. The U.S. possesses all components across the full AI stack, including advanced semiconductor design, frontier algorithms, and, of course, transformational applications. Now, the computing power this stack requires is integral to advancing AI technology. And to safeguard America's advantage, the Trump administration will ensure that the most powerful AI systems are built in the U.S. with American-designed and manufactured chips.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would say presented without additional comment, but I do have to, I'm telling you, JD is the guy. Okay? This guy absolutely gets it. And when contrasted with this moron we had last time, he looks even better. If that was a 9.5 speech, it's a 9.75 after listening to the other one. AI is 2 letters. Really? We could have never guessed. Folks, amazing week at Rumble. Again, another huge announcement. Rumble is exploding. One of the best content creators out there, Tim Pool, has just signed on for Rumble. We'll be running through Rumble Premium, his sub accounts, just like the excellent Steven Crowder. You know, I'm exclusively on Rumble. Folks, we have a linear lineup of shows on Rumble that rivals any cable network out there. We got Tim Pool. We got Dan Bongino. We got Avita. We got Steven Crowder. We got Don Jr. We've got a whole boatload of talent out there. You don't even need cable anymore. So please download the Rumble app. It is free. The content is free. You sign up for Rumble Premium. You can avoid some of the spots, some of the ads. Rumble.com/Bongino. If you want to watch on the web, please just give us a follow while you're there. 3.5 million as of today. Love you guys. And please give us a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the radio show on Rumble here in a little bit. And see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for tuning in.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show.
hairy balls,